Are you thinking of owning your first home in Canada but feeling overwhelmed by the rising costs? You're not alone. But what if I told you there's a tool that can help you save faster and even lower your taxes along the way? Let me introduce you to the First Home Savings Account, FHSA. Hi everyone, I'm Manasio Durtafo, a realtor and investor in Toronto and Durham. I've had the privilege of helping countless Canadians navigate the exciting and sometimes challenging journey to home ownership. Today, I'm here to break down the First Home Savings Account, or FHSA. It's a registered account specifically designed to help first-time home buyers in Canada save for their dream home while enjoying incredible tax benefits. This account combines the best features of a TFSA and an RRSP, giving you tax advantages while helping you save for your first home. By the end of this video, you'll know how to qualify, contribute, and make the most of it to reach your homeownership goals. Let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the FHSA? First, it's important to know that this is not just a regular savings account. The FHSA is a registered investment account launched in April 2023. It's specifically designed to help Canadians save for their first home purchase while enjoying significant tax advantages. What makes the FHSA unique is that it combines the best features of two popular accounts, the RRSP and the TFSA. Like an RRSP, your contributions are tax deductible, which means they lower your taxable income. And like a TFSA, your investments grow tax-free. And when you make a qualified withdrawal to buy your first home, that money comes out completely tax-free. Here are the key numbers that you need to know. The FHSA has an annual contribution limit of $8,000, and any unused room can be carried forward to the next year, up to $8,000. There's also a lifetime contribution limit of $40,000, which is the maximum amount you can ever contribute. This limit applies only to contributions, not the growth of your investments. But the FHSA isn't just a savings account. It's also an investment account. You can use it to purchase stocks, bonds, ETFs, and other eligible investments, allowing your money to go tax-free over time. There are a few additional rules to keep in mind. The FHSA can stay open for up to 15 years after the year it's opened or until you turn 71, whichever comes first. Once you make a qualified withdrawal for your first home, the account must be closed by December 31st of the following year. And most importantly, to take advantage of the tax-free benefits, all withdrawals must be used for a qualifying first home purchase. The FHSA is a powerful tool for first-time home buyers, offering tax savings and investment growth, all while helping you work towards your dream of homeownership. Now, who could open an FHSA? Let's talk about who qualifies. To open an FHSA or a first-time home savings account, there are a few specific requirements you'll need to meet. First, you must be a Canadian resident at the time you open the account. You also need to be at least 18 years of age and the age of majority in your province or territory. For example, in British Columbia and New Brunswick, you need to be 19 to qualify. And finally, you cannot be older than 71 years of age by December 31st of the account you open of the year you open the account. The most important qualification is that you must be considered a first-time home buyer. But what does that mean? A first-time home buyer is defined as someone who has not owned and lived in a home as their primary resident at any time in the current calendar year or the 4 calendar years prior to open the FHSA. This applies to homes located anywhere in the world, not just Canada. A qualifying home includes single-family homes, semi-detached homes, townhouses, and even condos. However, this also includes any home owned by your spouse, common law partner during that time, as long as you lived in it. If you've owned a rental property or another home that you didn't occupy as your permanent residence in the past 5 years, you may still qualify as a first-time home buyer. Additionally, if you've gone through a separation or divorce and haven't lived in a previously owned home as your primary resident in the past 4 years, you could still be eligible. It's always a good idea to double check your status with a CRA or financial advisor to ensure you meet all the requirements before you go ahead and open an FHSA. This account is designed to give you a big boost towards homeownership, so qualifying is the first step to getting started. Now, how do you actually open an FHSA? Opening a first-time home saving account is a simple process, and it's a great step towards achieving your goal of homeownership. Let me walk you through the steps. Steps to open an FHSA. Okay, start by selecting a financial institution that offers FHSAs. This could be a traditional bank, a credit union, or an online platform. Complete the application form. Once you've chosen an institution, fill out their forms. You need to provide some personal information and confirm your eligibility, like meeting the first-time home buyer criteria. Then you want to link to your personal accounts. Connect your personal bank account to your FHSA to make contributions quick and easy. It's also worth noting that you can open multiple FHSAs, but the total contributions across all your accounts cannot exceed the lifetime maximum contribution limit of $40,000. Here's my pro tip for choosing the right FHSA. Look for no fees. Some institutions charge account maintenance or transaction fees. Choosing one with no fees helps you save more. Consider high interest investment options. Since the FHSA is an investment account, explore options like stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, or GICs. This can help your money grow faster. Diversify your investments. To minimize risks, consider diversified options like passive index funds. Now, be mindful when transferring funds. If you want to move money from one FHSA to another, make sure to do a direct transfer between institutions. Withdrawing the funds and redepositing them could trigger a tax, as it would be considered a non-qualified withdrawal. Do these following steps, keep them in mind, and you'll be well on your way to maximizing the benefits of the FHSA and building your savings for your first home. Now, here's a real world example, right? Let's break down why the FHSA is such a powerful tool for saving for your first home, especially when it comes to tax benefit. Tax deductible contribution. One of the biggest perks of the FHSA is that your contributions are tax deductible. This means you can subtract the amount you contribute from your taxable income, which reduces the taxes that you owe for that year. Here's an example, right? Based on an $80,000 salary, without any FHSA contribution, you'd owe about $23,223 in taxes, leaving you with a net pay of $56,777. If you contribute the maximum $8,000 to your FHSA, your taxable income drops from $80K to $72,000. This lowers your taxable bill to $20,719, saving you about $2,500 in taxes. This is how it can help you put money back into your pocket while you save for your home. You can choose to claim this deduction in the year you contribute, or save it for a year where you're in a higher tax bracket to maximize the benefit. 2. Tax-free withdrawals. When it's time to withdraw money from your FHSA for a qualifying first-time purchase, the entire withdrawal, including contributions and investment earning, is tax-free. This means no taxes on the money you've saved and invested as long as you use it for its intended purpose, which is to buy a home. 3. Tax-free growth. Another major advantage is that any growth on your FHSA investment is free. Whether it's capital gains, dividends, or interest earned, you won't pay taxes on those profits. For example, if you invested in ETFs or mutual funds within your FHSA, any additional money made is untouched by taxes, allowing your savings to grow faster. Compare this to a regular investment account where you'd have to pay taxes on gains and income, reducing how much you get to keep. Now, here's how to maximize the FHSA. The most out of it, there are 3 key strategies that I'll say you employ. Leverage tax savings contributions to your FHSA because they're tax deductible. For example, an $8,000 contribution could result in a $2,000 tax refund, which you can then reinvest into your FHSA or put in your TFSA to grow. Number 2, you want to invest wisely. The FHSA is an investment account, so use it to grow your money tax-free. Depending on your timeline and risk tolerance, you can invest in GICs for security or ETFs, like I've mentioned, for diversification, or even stocks and bonds for higher growth potential. If you plan to buy a home, consider low risk options, however, because you do want to protect your savings to put towards your first property. Number 3, combine with other programs. Don't just use the FHSA, but also use it along the RRSP home buyers plan and the TFS. For example, maxing out your FHSA at $40K and then withdrawing $35,000 from your RRSP with the home buyer plan gives you $75,000 of down payment plus investment growth. If you have a spouse and both of you do the same thing, you can then have $150,000. By combining these strategies, the FHSA becomes a powerful tool to help you save faster and smarter for your first home. How and when to withdraw, right? So you want to withdraw your FHSA while keeping all the tax benefits intact. Here's how you do it. Qualifying withdrawals, right? You got to know what these are. To withdraw money tax-free from your FHSA, you need to meet some specific conditions, right? You must be a first-time home buyer, meaning you haven't owned a property as we spoke of before, and you must be intending to use it as a primary resident. You need a written agreement to buy or build a qualifying home in Canada. The home must be your principal residence, meaning you intend to live in. So basically, you can't use this to buy an investment property or a rental property. It's not just allowed, right? You also can't have acquired the home more than 30 days before making the withdrawal. Finally, you must be a resident of Canada at the time of withdrawal. To make the withdrawal, you need to complete form RC725 and submit it to your financial institution managing your FHSA. And once you make your first qualified withdrawal, your FHSA must be closed by December 31st of the following year. Pro tip, you can compare your FHSA and the HBP from Home Buyers Plan from the RRSP for the same home purchase to maximize your down payment. 2. Non-qualifying withdrawals. If you withdraw money but don't intend to use it to actually buy a home, it will be treated as taxable income, meaning the amount you withdraw will be added to your taxable income for the year and you will pay taxes on it at your marginal tax rate, whatever that is, right? To avoid this, you can transfer the unused funds to an RRSP or RRIF. Just talk to your financial advisor. And when you transfer this money, it won't affect your RRSP contribution rooms, right? Always make sure you're transferring between accounts and everything is qualified withdrawal, right? You will pay taxes on it as your marginal tax rate. To avoid this, you can transfer the unused funds, an RRSP or RRIF, on a tax deferred basis. An important thing to keep in mind is these transfers won't affect your RRSP contribution rooms. Always perform a direct transfer between accounts. You withdraw the funds and then recontribute them. It will trigger taxes as a non-qualified withdrawal. 3. Timelines to keep in mind. You must use the funds in your FHSA 15 years of opening the account, or by the end of the year you turn 71, whichever comes first. After that, the FHSA will be closed and any unused funds will need to be transferred to an RRSP or RRIF or withdrawn as taxable income. By making these contributions and planning your withdrawals carefully, you can ensure that your FHSA works exactly as intended, helping you save for your first home while keeping your taxes as low as possible. FHSA versus other savings accounts. Let's break down how the FHSA compares to other popular savings accounts like the TFSA and RRSP. With the Home Buyers Plan, this will help you decide which account works best for your goals. 1. FHSA versus TFSA. Both the FHSA and TFSA offer tax advantages, but they are designed for different purposes. The FHSA is specifically for saving for your first home. Contributions are taxable, which lower your taxable income. However, the FHSA is less flexible. Withdrawals must be for a home to keep the tax benefit. TFSA, on the other hand, is much more flexible. You can use it to save for anything: emergencies, vacations, and a home. While contributions are not tax deductible, all investments grow and withdrawals are completely tax-free. And you can use the funds for any purpose with no restrictions. Key differences: with the FHSA, you get a tax deduction upfront, but withdrawals must go towards a home purchase. With the TFSA, there are no tax deduction, but you have full flexibility to use your money however you want. Which one should you choose? If your primary goal is to save for a home, the FHSA offers great benefits, but if you need flexibility, the TFSA complements the FHSA for broader saving goals. 2. FHSA versus RRSP with the Home Buyer Plan, right? These are both great for saving for a home, but they work a little bit different. With the FHSA, contributions obviously are tax deductible, withdrawals for a home purchase are tax free, and best of all, you don't have to repay the money you withdraw. Our RRSP home buyer plan, you can withdraw up to $35,000 tax-free for a home purchase. However, you must repay the amount back into the RRSP over the next 15 years, or it'll be taxed as income. Key differences are FHSA withdrawals don't need to be repaid. With the home buyer plan, you are essentially borrowing from yourself and repaying yourself over time. The FHSA specifically is designed for a home purchase, while the RRSP is primarily for retirement. Comparing the FHSA, TFSA, and RRSP, here's where things get exciting. Max out your FHSA with $40,000, withdraw up to $35,000 RRSP buyer's plan, and then use your TFSA for additional flexible savings that grow tax-free. Here's an example. If you contribute $40K to your FHSA and withdraw $35,000 from your RRSP, $75,000 for a down payment. Your spouse does the same. You have $50,000 combined, plus any investment growth. Here are my final thoughts. The FHSA, TFSA, and RRSP each have unique benefits, but combining them can help you save more effectively for your first home. By using these account strategies, you have a stronger down payment and be one step closer to achieving your home ownership dream. What if you don't buy a home? Let's talk about what happens if you decide not to use your FHSA for a home purchase. Fortunately, you still have the option to make the most of your savings. Transfer it with RRSP or RRIF. You can directly transfer the unused funds in your FHSA to a registered retirement savings plan or a registered retirement income fund on a tax-deferred basis. The great news is that transfers won't affect your RRSP contribution room, essentially giving you additional RRSP space. To avoid taxes, make sure it's a direct transfer. Withdrawing the funds and recontributing them to an RRSP would count as a non-qualified withdrawal, leading to tax implications. This is a smart strategy if you want to keep growing your money in a tax-advantaged way. Well, withdraw as taxable income. Alternatively, you can withdraw the funds outright. However, this comes with a catch. The withdrawal will be treated as taxable income, meaning you would have to pay taxes on it at your marginal rate. This option is generally not ideal as it negates the tax benefit of the FHSA. Key deadlines. These are some key deadlines to keep in mind, right? You must use or transfer the funds within 15 years of opening the FHSA or before you turn 71 years old, whichever comes first. After that, the account will be closed. Tips for first-time home buyers. Here's some practical tips to make the most of your FHSA and prepare for your first home purchase. 1. Start saving early. As soon as you're eligible, begin accruing contribution room. Take advantage of tax benefits sooner. Start saving and investing early to maximize your contributions and benefits from tax-free growth over time. 2. Work with a financial advisor. A financial advisor can help you create a personalized savings and investment strategy that fits your goals. This can guide you on how to best use the FHSA, RRSP, and TFSA to maximize your savings. 3. Combine FHSA with other incentives. Look into government grants and incentives for first-time homebuyers to further boost your saving. Use the FHSA alongside the RRSP home buyers plan. For example, withdraw up to $35K from your RRSP, the home buyer plan, in addition to your FHSA savings to maximize your down payment. If your spouse does the same, you could double your savings potential. Remember, while the FHSA is a powerful tool, it may not cover the entire minimum down payment in a higher cost market. Use it as part of a broader financial strategy. The FHSA is such a game changer for first-time home buyers. You get tax deductions on contributions, tax-free growth on your investments, tax-free withdrawals when used for a qualifying home purchase, flexibility to transfer unused funds to an RRSP or RRIF without affecting contribution room. The FHSA is one of the best tools available for saving for your first home. And when combined with other accounts like the RRSP and TFSA, it can help you reach your savings goals even faster. If you're opening an FHSA account, then you probably should know the 7 steps to buying your first property.